What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to Self-Aware Sundays, episode 2. I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness. And this series is dedicated to talking about my therapy journey, getting deeper into how I became a self-aware narcissist. This is my own personal playlist. I've been talking to a lot of narcissists and other toxic people or whatnot, another cluster B people. They wanted me to put a series together of how therapy works for me, how I got to therapy and things of that nature. So this is episode 2 right here. This series is dedicated more for the narcissist, to getting deeper into the mind of the narcissist. Now, like I said before, y'all, I'm not just starting these videos. I've done them before. People just don't watch them. But anyways, this playlist is dedicated just for that, y'all. Mind of a narcissist. Today's episode is going to be about how therapy works for me. Why does therapy work for me? So, I started therapy in October of 2017, y'all. Y'all know, like, my last episode is going to details my journey, how my wife called me a narcissist, how I looked it up. And, my wife called me a narcissist. I looked it up, understood that these traits fit me because I've always been feeling different my entire life, right? The traits fit me because I've been feeling different my entire life. So I looked it up. I reached out to, a therapist on psychologytoday.com. You know what I mean? Reached out to a therapist on psychologytoday.com. They reached back, started therapy. So what kept me in therapy, y'all? What has kept me in therapy over the last 6 years is the fact I love it. Therapy makes me feel like it's gonna sound weird, y'all, but therapy makes me feel like the greatest narcissistic person in the world. You know what I mean? I'm the most followed one, the most followed self-aware narcissist. I am that, but it makes me feel like the more knowledge I get for myself, the better narcissist I can become. And I know people are gonna look at that like it's a horrible thing, but I don't think being a narcissist has to mean being a horrible person. It doesn't has to mean that. I know that's what it's associated with, but being a narcissist doesn't necessarily have to mean that I'm a bad person or whatever. So that's what helps me live the life that I live right now. In my first therapy appointment, right? I cried, y'all. I cried my first therapy appointment. I got in there, and I was sitting in the waiting room. I got there like 15 minutes early. I was in there nervous as hell. I was super sweaty. I was just like, what the hell am I gonna talk about in here? I've only seen therapy on TV, right? I've only seen, like, I go back and get in the reclining chair and lay back and just tell them what's been going on. Hey, as a kid, I did this. As a kid, I did that. Is the chair comfortable? It's gonna be that sticky leather couch we used to have back in the day. What is it going to be like for real? So in my mindset, I was like, okay, I have to find a way to deal with this. I really, really do. So I sat in there and I was in therapy, right? And I read a lot of books, right? I read a lot of books. Haruki Murakami. So I read a lot of books, y'all. And I was reading the book one day and there was a poem about a storm. They mentioned a poem about a storm. I was like, that poem, that quote about a storm is so powerful. It sounded just like my life, right? I screenshot that quote. I had screenshot that quote, right, and put it as my screensaver forever. It was my screensaver for a long time. You know how you something is your screensaver for a long time, you forget about it. You just scroll through. You forget what your screensaver is. So I was sitting in my therapist's office, right, and I look on the wall, and that quote is on the wall. My screensaver is on the wall. I was like, oh my God, this is on the wall. I'm meant to be here. If you don't know that, the storm quote is by Haruki Murakami. It says, and once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. And that's what this storm is all about. I felt like that poem spoke to me so much, and that's my screensaver, and it's on the wall of my therapist. I was like, oh, damn, I'm supposed to be here. So that helped me ease up, right? So I go into therapy, we talking or whatever. The first therapy session, y'all, is just introductory. You probably filled out a form that told them what you were looking to get out of it, what you thought was going on with you, what you were looking to gain. But that's all they know about you. They don't know anything else. So the first couple of therapy sessions are just introductory. You're not really talking about anything that's going to change your damn life. The fact that you're there taking the action to be there, and you making it a commitment to therapy, that's what's going to change your life. One therapy session isn't going to do it. So if you're watching this, I'm going to go to 1 or 2 therapy sessions and be done. No, you won't. If you're watching this, think you're a narcissist, 1 or 2 therapy sessions is not enough. It's just not. If you think 1 or 2 therapy sessions, it might be enough to manipulate your partner into giving you more time. But what this is going to accomplish? Once they realize that you bullshitting, they going to leave again. They're just going to leave you for good. That's my therapist said. My therapist said, your wife will go, once your wife realizes that you're tripping and you're lying, you're not going here you're not here for real, she's just going to leave you for real. What you going to do then? You going to get mad? What are you going to do? You can't control anybody else, you know? So we went in there the first couple of sessions. The first thing she said, my first name is Damon, y'all. So she said, what are you doing here, Damon, at 32 years old? And I started crying. I was like, I'm destroying my life and I'm tired of it. I was like, I'm losing control of my life and I'm so sick and tired of it. I can't continue to survive like this. So I cried. I was like, I feel like I don't have emotions or whatever. I feel like I can't process my emotions correctly. So you have emotions, you're crying right now. I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. And that's the first time I cried in years, y'all. So I was like, okay, cool. I said, okay, good, nice. So we got to that point right there, y'all. And first couple of therapy sessions was just introductory, talking about where I came from, where I'm at, where am I doing in life, who I am, what I'm trying to figure out and whatnot. But then we started getting into the exercises. I talked about the control circle on my last video, so you have to go back and watch that. But we did a thing about control. Like, you're trying to control too much in your life. So if you're a narcissist watching this, you might be trying to control too much in your life. And when you try to control too much, you lose control over yourself. You lose control over everything that you have going on. You see what I'm saying? You lose control of a lot. You just losing control. You just are. You lose control of yourself trying to control others. And one of the greatest lessons that I've learned in therapy, the only way that therapy will work for you if you're a narcissist, you have to be vulnerable. You don't even have to be a narcissist. If you're a narcissist, borderline, cluster B, whoever you are, whatever you have going on, therapy will not work for you unless you overcome your ego. You absolutely have to overcome your ego for therapy to be effective. You have to overcome it. You have to let the guard down. You have to be able to let the guard down and just overcome your ego. It's going to hurt. If you get a good therapist, they're going to challenge you. And your first instinct is going to be to fight back, but you have to fight your first instinct and not fight back and to allow the hurt and the shame to set in on you. You have to deal with the shame. If you cannot deal with the shame, what are you doing here? I'm just coming here to get my partner back. Then they're going to leave you. If you are there to get your partner back, to get your family back, they're going to leave you because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. That's a good goal to get your family back. The reason you're here is to work on you. You have to be here to work on you because it doesn't work any other way, y'all. It just doesn't. I know people are going to be frustrated with me saying that, but you have to do this for you. You absolutely have to do this you have to have the right reason. You have to be selfish in your healing, because if you're not selfish in your healing, you're going to buckle up. You're going to have a rough life. Your partner's going to leave you. They're not going to come back, and you're going to watch them happy with someone else. You're going to watch them be happy with someone else. Close your eyes right now. Imagine in a year or two, your partner has left. You failed at therapy because you gave up, because it was too hard for you, or you didn't feel like you get anything out of it. So your partner took you back for a little while, and then they finally left. You come home from work one day, and they're gone. Your husband, wife, whoever it is, they're gone with the kids. They're gone. What do you do then? And they're not coming back. They got a restraining order on you. They done did something. They went no contact or very low contact. They got a third party involved, so they don't have to talk to you again. They're gone. 6 months go by. You get wind of them dating somebody else. So you start, if y'all have kids together, you start asking kids, does mommy here? Does mommy have a new boyfriend? Does daddy have a new friend? Now you look obsessive. Now you look jealous. You could have had that back, but you decided therapy was too hard for you. You decided the shame was too much, so you gave into the shame. You walked away from therapy. You made more excuses in your life, and your partner left you, and they needed to leave you. I wrote my wife a letter. The last time she left, I had wrote her a letter, right? And I thanked her for leaving me. I thanked my wife for leaving me. I said, if you did not leave me, I would not be where I am today. If she didn't leave me, with no plans on coming back. She went low contact. I had a third party involved. If she didn't leave me with no plans on coming back, I wouldn't be who I am today to making this video for you. She had to leave. What did your wife do differently? She packed her shit up and she bounced. That's what she did differently. I mean, what did she do differently? No, she packed her stuff up and she left and she needed to leave. Did it hurt? Was I sad? Was I in pain? Yes, yes, yes. All of the above. It sucked. But I went to therapy. I got more open. I got more honest. I got more vulnerable. And I put the work in and she came back home. And that's my greatest accomplishment. People are like, what do you think your greatest accomplishment is? Getting my wife and kids and getting my family back together and keeping it together for the last 3 years strong. That's my greatest accomplishment right now in my life. Probably be forever. I say right now, but it might be forever. Who knows? It's just, I don't know, y'all. Like I say, you have to be willing to sit in the shame and the hurt. You have to. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, y'all. You have to overcome that ego and deal with the shame, deal with the pain, and you have to learn how to find some way to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for what you did not know. And sometimes you don't know that you're doing these toxic ass behaviors because it's become a way of life for you. You just been defending yourself for so long against everybody. You feel like the whole world is against you. So if the world is against me, I need to be against the world. That's how I felt for a long time. If the world is against me, then I need to be against the whole world. The world was my enemy for a long time. That's how I felt. I felt like everybody in the world was my enemy and everybody in the world was against me. And that is no way to live, y'all. That is a hard way to live right there. I promise you. Everybody in the world is against me. That's a tough ass way to live. There's no quality in life in that, y'all. I promise you. I promise you. I really do promise you. But that's the way of the world, y'all. You have to be willing to sit in the shame, overcome that ego. Nobody gives a damn how tough you are. Nobody cares about your bravado. Nobody cares about the shield you got up. The people who care about it, the people who care for you, they're going to leave your ass. And you see a lot of these weak ass people out here, when they partner finally decides to up and leave them, they take their life. Imagine you become a damn family annihilator because you're a weak ass person. You decide to take the life of your wife, your husband, your kids because they decided to leave because you're too goddamn weak to go to therapy and get the help that you need. Imagine that's you. Imagine you being Chris Watts. Imagine you being Alex Murdoch. Imagine you being those people right there. There's some women too. I can't think of the women, but there's some women who do that too. But literally, imagine that's you. You have to put yourself in don't put yourself in other people's shoes because that's tough to do as a narcissist. Put yourself in your own shoes. Imagine putting yourself in your own shoes in the future when everything has changed. Your wife, your kids, your husband, your kids, everybody's gone. Your friends have cut you off because they found out you were toxic and abusive. You've been hiding it for years, but now it's out in the open. Everybody knows you're an abuser now. What do you do? What do you do? How do you handle it? You have to overcome your ego. You have to make a commitment to overcoming your ego and being open and honest and vulnerable and learning to trust the therapist to guide you along the way. You've been having trouble trusting people your entire life because so many people in your life have let you down. So you said, to hell with trusting people. Everybody's going to let me down anyway. And that's understandable. I get that. I get it, y'all. I get it. It was hard as hell for me to trust the therapist. I was just like, it was hard as hell for me to trust the therapist. It really, really was. But I made a commitment to be open, honest, and vulnerable and be in therapy for the rest of my life because I have to be. That's where I'm going to be at, y'all. I made a commitment for me. My wife can leave me. She can call and leave again. But guess what happens? I still go to therapy. I still work on me, and I'm better for myself. And being better for myself means my kids still get to grow up and be healthy. That's it for this episode, y'all. I'm super sneezy today. I feel it sneeze coming out. If y'all like this series, interact with this series, y'all. What we leaving today? Leave a wave in the comment section if you made it this far. I truly appreciate y'all. This series is for the narcissistic people out there that want some help and understand how I got to where I am. Overcome that ego, y'all. Like and subscribe for more. And as always, Mental Illness is out. Peace.